How much money should I start with in trading? Wow, this is such a commonly asked question that I decided to make this video to show you exactly what you need to know about how much money you need to start with in trading. At the end of this video, you will know the answer to this question, and you will know how to determine what is right for you. So let's get started now. If you are asking this question, how much money do I need to start with in trading, you may be feeling a little bit overwhelmed and confused. Do I need $100,000 to start? Or could I start with $100 or $200? Well, if you want to know the minimum account size, that's easy enough to find out. You can go to any broker and just look at their website, and it will say somewhere on there what their minimum account size is. Some brokers have a minimum account size of $50 or $100, and some claim that they have no minimum account size so that you could deposit $1 or maybe 50 cents. But could you actually trade with that amount? Probably not. So leave a comment below about what you think would be realistic for someone getting started in trading. How much would it take for someone to place a trade using the lowest pip size that's available with a broker without over leveraging your account on the first trade? Leave a comment below about your experience with that and what you think is realistic. Because as you get started, it is important for you to understand how much of your capital should be at risk on each trade and how to figure that out. So the question that you might be asking yourself is, are you wondering how much capital would I need to have in order for me to make a living from trading? Because that's a completely different question, and that implies that the person would already have developed the skill of getting consistent profit. So take the amount of money that you believe you need for covering your living expenses and then double that. And then you need to find out how much percentage of increase you can get per month. And let's say that you decided that your percentage of increase that you're targeting is 10% increase per month. How would you know that? Where would you get that information? You would get that from your own results of what you have been getting in the previous 2 to 3 years after you learn how to trade. However much time it first takes to learn how to trade, after you learn how to trade, then for a period of 2 to 3 years, you could see what your results are, and that would show you how much you could get per month. So let's say you did have $100,000 in capital and you did get 10% increase per month. That would be an increase of $10,000. And if you took out $5,000 for your living expenses, then your account would continue to increase by $5,000 every month. So each month, if that stays the same and you're able to continue to get on average 10% increase per month, you could even give yourself an automatic raise by just always taking out 50% of the profit as you see that the profit is always increasing each month. All of this would be dependent on if you had somehow developed that rare skill of being able to get consistent increase in capital. So really, this is extremely simple, and I hope that it's understood clearly. And for those people asking the question, how much should I start with in trading? The key word here is start. So that implies that you don't have the skill of getting consistent profit because you're talking about starting. You could open an account with $100, or you could open an account with $500,000. In both cases, the first thing that would happen would be that you would lose all of that capital. Common sense would tell you that if you haven't developed the skill of getting consistent profit in trading, then you would lose your capital. And if you haven't developed the skill of getting a higher percentage of winning trades and having your winning trades consistently on average be larger than your losing trades, then it would just be a matter of time before all of your capital would be gone. So don't be one of those people who ignores all common sense and all reality, expecting that you're going to get a profit from the beginning when you haven't developed that skill. How would that be possible? If anyone really believes that they're going to get profit from the beginning and they know that they haven't developed that skill and they haven't proven it in their previous results for 2 to 3 years before and seen that there is a consistent increase in their capital for 2 to 3 years, that person would have to somehow completely ignore any part of reality and be living in a state of total delusion. So wouldn't the wise thing to do would be to know and understand that you won't get profit from the beginning unless you have developed a rare skill that very few people have ever developed. And that would be the rare skill of being able to read and understand financial markets and having a high percentage of winning trades after practicing for a long period of time. This is not intended to discourage you, quite the opposite, because you can develop that skill. First, you would need to know what really works in trading. This is trickier than what you might think, because when you enter the trading world, you are going to be bombarded by all kinds of information, and everything that you see, just about almost everything that you see, is coming from some kind of a marketer who is telling you something and they don't even know how to trade, but they present themselves as if they do. Even in the groups, if you join groups on Facebook and Telegram, there's all these people in there pretending like they know all about trading, and statistically and from experience, we know that they don't even know what works in trading, and the stuff that they're teaching, the methods and the strategies that they're using don't even work. So discovering what really works is a very, very important step, and not one that is easily accomplished. First, you would need to learn what really works in trading, and then you would need to practice that over a period of time, because you wouldn't be able to do it just by intellectually knowing it. You would have to actually practice it. As I have mentioned in my previous video, that knowing how to play the violin is by rubbing the bow on the strings, or knowing how to do kung fu is by moving your body and throwing punches. That doesn't mean that you have developed that skill. I have seen some rare, motivated, brilliant individuals who were able to make a huge amount of progress in as little as 6 months, but I think most everyone would agree that mastery in trading would take at least 3 years. How long does it take to become a journeyman plumber? That's right, about 5 years. A lot of people think they know that they couldn't become a journeyman plumber in 2 weeks, but they might believe that they're going to master trading. So after you learn what really works in trading, and then after you practice that for a period of time until you have mastered it, and then after you have proven to yourself that you have developed your own skill, then you could consider starting to track your results and tracking your progress to demonstrate to yourself that your results are not based on luck, but have long-term stability that definitely shows consistent increase over long periods of time. Anyone can get lucky and have a winning streak, but what follows a winning streak? That's right. A series of losing trades is inevitable unless you have that rare knowledge and experience that has enabled you to develop the skill of consistent increase. Incidentally, I doubt if anyone has ever achieved this without intense personal development and a lot of work on psychology. So until you get to that point, you can see how irrelevant it really is to even ask, how much money should I start with in trading? Sure, you could fund an account and you could get the feel of what it's like trading with real money, and that's important. But whatever amount you start with, you should be able to afford and expect that you will probably lose that. But you won't really care, because you know that that's the required basic tuition price of learning to trade. If you're going to learn to trade with real money, and in order to learn to trade, you would have to lose, then you know that that's going to be the tuition that you would have to pay on your path to becoming a consistent winning trader, which is a very rare and exclusive club to be a member of. If you want to find out what really does work in trading and learn more about what it would take for you to master the business of trading, just go to www.tradingmastermind.com and sign up for our free professional trading course. Now, I made a number of different videos on specifically how you can get consistent increase in capital, and you can watch those right over here.